Have you been troubled by anything in Revelation so far? If not, I'm guessing today will be the day. Today's reading is Revelation chapter 6, and this scene takes place after everyone has fallen down at the feet of the Lamb, because the Lamb is the only one worthy of opening the scroll. Chapter 6 is all about how do we open the scroll? What's inside of it? Now, my hope in today's video with you is not to explain or examine or even judge the text itself, but to help you imagine what's taking place here. This is the moment we have the 7 seals, each of which seems to release something painful or catastrophic in the world. And what scholars debate over is whether the seal opening makes something happen or the seal opening reveals a condition in the world that's already taking place. But what I want to suggest to you is the key to understanding this passage is imagining it correctly. Remember, this is a vision. This is a vision that would be read and performed likely in front of people. And the text started to unlock for me when I started to see how this might play out on a stage. So the Lamb is holding the scroll. It's sealed up by 7 wax seals. And what does everybody in the room want to know? Everybody wants to know what's inside this scroll. So as one seal is removed, and then the next, we're one step closer. The suspense is building. There's bated breath. If you haven't already, take a moment to read this. We're not going to get into a lot of meaning or analysis, maybe even not practical application, but the win for today is if you could pause and try to do an imaginary reading of what's happening. I'll do my best to walk you through it. So the Lamb is holding the scroll. In your imagination, is the Lamb undoing the seal with his teeth? With his hooves? Is it a literal lamb or is it an image of a lamb? I imagine the Lamb is pulling each seal off with his teeth in one corner of the throne room. And as he does, one of the living creatures, there's 4, remember? In the first 4 seals, the living creatures cry out, "Come." And then across the stage, we see a horseman ride out. This is the passage where we hear about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So the Lamb peels off the first seal. The living creature says, "Come," and behold, John sees a white horse, and its rider has a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he came out conquering and to conquer. So I picture the Lamb on one stage with the suspense building as each seal is removed. And then over here, something is playing out. This rider comes out on the white horse, ready for conquest. The second seal is opened, and the second living creature says, "Come," and out comes another horse, and its rider is permitted. It means it's allowed to take peace from the earth, that people would slay one another. Again, is this permission? Is this God making something happen, or is it a display of the condition of earth already as it is? Earth is violent. There is no peace. Tribes war against one another. I might argue this is just a fantastic imaginary display of the condition of humans on earth. The third seal is opened, and the third living creature says, "Come," and out comes a black horse with a rider holding scales. That's how you would weigh and price things, like at the butcher's counter. In this case, he's weighing wheat and barley, materials that are necessary for survival, but here the price is so expensive people can't eat it. And this reflects the condition of famine in the world, the presence of hunger. It's almost as though in this dream, John is getting a visual display of the horrible things that are happening on earth, the things that are already causing human suffering, the things that cause people to cry out, "Lord Jesus, come and make things right." I wonder in your life, when you survey the world, when you read the news or you look at your community, what are the things that cause you to cry out, "God, would you come make all things right?" I think that's the purpose of this part of the dream. The suspense is building before the scroll is opened. We're witnessing this pain and terror and anguish. And as the audience, maybe it's intended to increase our longing for Christ's return. When the fifth seal is opened, John sees under the altar those who have laid down their life for Jesus. Maybe they're martyrs or people who have just died following while waiting for his return. They're each given a white robe and told, "Rest a little longer. The story's not over yet. Rest in comfort." But they are assured the time will come. He opens the sixth seal, the Lamb does, and then there's an earthquake, and the earth shakes, and the sky grows dark, and you can feel the dramatic tension, like, what's going to happen with the seventh seal? And that's the end of chapter 6. The seventh seal isn't opened until tomorrow. My guess is you'll be surprised by what comes next. But I'm curious, as you read this chapter, what feelings does it evoke in you? Does it make you confused? Confused for me, it sometimes makes me think, like, is God making these bad things happen? That doesn't seem like the character of God. And I'm holding these questions as we continue our reading, knowing that if understanding Revelation were easy, way more people would be talking about it. Way more people would preach on Revelation if this were low-hanging fruit, but it is complicated. We don't know what they knew. The images are not crystal clear to us the way the Old Testament imagery would have rolled off their tongue. So for today, I want to place you in the position of the audience, watching the Lamb open each seal. Everyone watching is longing for the tension to break, longing for justice, longing for that seventh seal when the scroll will be unrolled, and we hope things will be made right. So I asked you just a moment ago, I'm going to ask you again. Where in the world do you see that makes you yearn for the return of Christ? You know as well as I know, this world is broken and bent. People are hurting from hunger and pain and deception and sin and all kinds of havoc wreaked upon the earth. Can you get in touch with that longing for Christ to come and make things right? I would argue that's maybe the most important thing we can do to connect with the original readers of Revelation who yearned for rescue and yearned for justice. We will understand this vision and we will rejoice in the parts where we're meant to rejoice if we can connect with that longing they had for Jesus to return and bring his kingdom here.